We're in the yard. I gotta prune our squash, so I'm gonna try to set this up to do that. We're gonna figure it out. I think I can switch this around. Oh, there we go. Alright. I was checking on these yesterday. And since we narrowly avoided squash bug apocalypse last week, I've been paying careful attention to them. Now I know you can eat these. You can eat squash leaves. I don't really like them, so I'm not going to eat them. But I've been paying more close attention to the squash because I actually want summer squash this year. So I'm checking for squash bugs. And we're taking off these crappy leaves. I just got zucchini and patty pan squash seeds going inside. I wasn't going to do that this year, but I saw them. They were both like 55 days to maturity. I was like, why not? So just kind of this relatively close to the plant. If you want to prune your squash, you want to do it in the evening because the squash will release a scent, and because bugs like squash beetles are less active in the evening, they'll be less likely to come get your squash. So I'm just going to grab this. This really sad watermelon is actually a banana melon, which is supposed to be good in the heat, but apparently it doesn't like it here. I'm just going to throw those in the yard because I can. Let's see. I was going to do a live for a while. But my time was otherwise occupied. So we're doing one today. Got a little adult beverage. I wanted to show you a little watermelon coming in. I think I need to pull this one off. I'm like pretty sure. Yeah, that one's no good. Oh. Just take that off. That's going in the yard. Alright. So we have our squash here taking a little bit of a break from setting fruit because it's been so hot. The last couple days have been okay, but we're gonna get like a day up to 100 later this week, which is gonna be no good. Those might seem like a lot, but you can train your squash even on a trellis and cut away pretty much anything that's not right at the end. And on the more conservative side, try not to cut too much off. Well, it's mostly because I don't want to sit out here all day. Let's see. Oh, this is a leaf. This one, you're gonna go compared to that one. That one can stay. Let's get in there. Ah, should I put on my gloves? These are really spiky. There you go. You can see between these two, one on the left is much healthier. So you might be looking at this and thinking it has a bunch of powdery mildew. And no, it's just the way the leaf is colored. You can see some of the variegation here. It's very silvery. This is an older leaf. You do want to keep an eye out for powdery mildew. So you can see here, that's a little more sketchy looking. Powdery mildew tends to form in patches. So this one's still okay. I'm going to take it off though because it is a bit yellow. And it'll put out new leaves. And you can see right there, there's all that new stuff coming in. If you do get powdery mildew on your squash, You can spray it with a sulfur and water mix, or also with milk. And that helps. But the best thing to do is prevention. It's kind of hard to avoid it anyways, but if you could try to not get the leaves wet when you water, especially try not to water before a hot day unless it's very early in the morning. That will help you out. Otherwise it gets steamy, and stuff like powdery mildew loves to grow in that kind of environment. Alright, let's see. Oh, I missed two big ones. Alright, it's gonna come out. This one's gonna come out. Alright. That is concerning. You see that yellow spot there? That could be a sign of a virus. So that one's gonna come out. And let's hope the other ones don't get any spots like that. So you can see this one here flipped over. And I'm gonna leave it. It'll correct itself. It'll give it some good airflow. And I'm just gonna check on these leaves. So you can see here, this one's ripped. I did that because I found squash bugs and I don't want to run back inside looking for tape. But if you're growing squash, this year I waited until I saw like one squash bug, and they usually come in like early July. This year they showed up in late July. I think you can see, I don't know if you can see the shadows there. Yep. Look at that. Squash bug eggs. I'm just gonna, oh, threw my scissors down somewhere. Hold on. What did I do with those? Alright. I'll look for those later. But you can get a piece of duct tape. What's up there? See that? Little, it's almost like a copper metallic color. And you get a piece of tape and blot it. You'll get it out. I'm just gonna tear the leaf. No, you don't want to do that because it's hot out, but this is all getting smushed. There's much less squash bugs. Not smush. Not going in the yard. It's much less eggs than I found. Last week I went through. I saw one squash bug. I was like, uh-oh. Last week I went through and so many of the leaves had eggs on them. One had a small cluster of nymph stage squash beetles. So took care of that, trimmed some stuff, and now I'm just checking. This is all new growth, even from last week. They really like the patty pan squash. I don't know why. They're not really on the cocozelle or the gray zucchini or the golden zucchini. I know people don't like zucchini. We're giving it a go this year. But you need to look at every single one. They like the big leaves. They don't seem to be on the small leaves so much. It helps I get sun here. Because if you can see right there, you can see the shadow. Oh, I'm just gonna rip it. Whatever. Prune that leaf another day. Squash can really take a heavy pruning. It does fine. It grows back within a few days. Okay. Check this out. That's pretty good. Only a couple leaves here. Have them. They really, really like the patty pans. But they decimate my squash every year. Oh! Here's a little surprise. Alright. Let's see. Hate squash beetles. You literally cannot get rid of them once you have them. I've seen people suck them up in little hand vacuums. Don't do that. You think you gotta empty the vacuum after? Alright, I think we're good on this side. I haven't seen any more nymphs or adults, which is good. You know, people think if you do all the preventatives and they're just not going to come. That's not true. If you have a garden, you're going to get pests. And this is our second year here. Our first year we planted squash and they were there right away after the property wasn't used for a while. So it's not necessarily right on your own property. There's a lot of farms around here. What else is convenient? Ants are okay. Alright. I think we might be okay. Just leaning over awkwardly. There we go. You see that guy? That's a squash bug nymph. And he's getting the squash. Pun intended. Go up there. So one random nymph is okay. If there's any that have come out, you usually see like 30 of them all together. They like to travel in groups, which is kind of weird, but what are you gonna do? Alright, that should be okay. This one never really took off. We've gotten some Cocozel from this one. You can even see another one that's coming in. But this is the same thing. It just never took off that well. Alright. That's good. So I'll come back in a couple days, give it another once over. So we're done with that. I lost my scissors somewhere. They might be in my pocket. Yep. They're in my pocket the whole time. The watermelons are doing okay. Got another little guy down here. We don't do very well with watermelons, but I'm hopeful. We do better with squash. We'll probably get some pumpkins. These are really cool. This is Jersey Devil, like a plum. We have a little bit of blossom end rot over here. That's okay. They're supposed to look like this, so that's really nice. Let's see. There was a pumpkin I saw over here. I don't remember which plant it was on. We do better with pumpkins because I don't know if you can see down in here. Do you see that? You see that white stuff? Those are roots. So as your pumpkin comes down and it goes along the ground, each of these little sections, there's a better example, are going to root down. So that's why it's really good to have a lot of space for them. So if at any point you have a squash vine borer, right? Say you have one in this back section, takes it out, right? Everything from there to wherever you're hilling dies. All this ahead of it is all rooted. You're good to go. It's going to keep going. So that's in there. Very firm. We're going to leave it. I don't know where that pumpkin I saw was. Still need to trellis our blackberries. We'll get to that before the end of the summer. Let's see. I could have swore I saw it. Alright, I'll come back here later. You'll want to check your pumpkins for squash beetles too. They don't seem to like them as much as the summer squashes, so it's more cautionary. But this is starting to look like I planned, so that's cool. It's another little watermelon. Let's see if I can get that to focus. Maybe not. You'll have to go. We have a video on our YouTube channel when we planted all of these. You have to go through there and find them. But things are coming together. Got the squash going. Our Fiesta okra is finally getting somewhat larger. I just consulted with one of our friends, and they think all of our okra will get bigger in maybe a couple weeks. Maybe not these ones. This is a Fiesta. It just does not like it here. But we'll go over to this other area, to our cowhorn okra, planted at the same time, much more developed. So this was the one we were looking at, where they were like, yep, they'll stay at this size and then they'll jump up. So they think that's going to happen in the next couple weeks. We're already getting some okra. These are supposed to get about, I think, 8 or 9 inches long. It's supposed to be a really long okra. So I'm going to leave it on here for a little bit longer. But this one and the one in the back have been flowering, and now I just took the rest of the carrots out of here, so no more carrot competition. This is our combo radish and carrots. They need a little more time before they start coming up. Need to come and harvest our dill and throw it in the freezer. We started getting a couple cucumbers over here, but nothing crazy. Our beets are looking good though. And some ones getting a bit bigger. So I'm gonna keep watering them and see how they do. We planted some more fall beets. But our cucumbers are still going. We have some coming in. They're not getting very well pollinated though. There's cucumber. So I need to give them some more attention. So we'll have our rattlesnake beans. I got a little prop up here. Oh yeah. What's going on with that stuff? Let's see. Oh. Looks like this is gonna flower. I think it's a lemon tree. We'll get some lemons. Got a bunch of tomatoes coming in. There's a Berkeley tie-dye, which is going to be like a cool green. This one is an all white, which is literally going to be white when it's ripe. Oh, this is, I think, an Abe Lincoln. Could be wrong. And this is a Castelluto Genovese, which is a red tomato. Oh, they both are. Let's see, put some beans in here. Well, if you're just joining, just walking around, we just pruned some squash. Now I'm checking out our tomatoes. I believe this is a persimmon tomato. It's orange. This is an orange accordion, which I've been wanting to buy for like 4 years to finally try, and I did it. So we have it coming in. That's going to be a really good slicer. And then we have our Black Beauty and Blue Beauty. Those are going to be really good. Let me come snip all the flowers off my basil. Pick some more shishitos, which looks like they're starting to fall over. Let's go out here. I'm just coming out very quickly. I need to go and finish up potting our fall garden. Our little greenhouse we have inside is just about fully stocked. I have like 2 more trays to do. Hi girls. I gotta come get your eggs. Here in the corn we have beans. So it's mostly bush beans, but you can see these ones are a bit longer. I did put some pole beans so they can climb the corn. And we also, I think, put turnips in here. Yep, there they are. We put our snap pea trellises from the spring in here. And we're gonna have our cucumbers go up in them. So at the corner of each one, I put our median cukes, and then whatever our other cukes were. You can also see I put some snap peas along the fence, which decided to sprout, which is awesome. I need to come around and give this a little bit extra fertilizer. But our chickpeas are doing really good. I'm just concerned because the bottoms of these are a bit yellow. Supposedly, they'll just keep flowering and putting on pods till the end of the season, so that would be nice. But that cabbage looper moth that's flying around in here is not so much. You can see there is some weed competition. I'm not so worried about that. So popcorn, looking good. This is our glass gem. We planted this, I think, about 2 weeks before the corn, the sweet corn or dent corn that's in the front. And this is like, let's switch this around. So there's me. Here's the corn. It goes up to about my waist level. So it's pretty tall. And it's like super sunny back here. I wanted to show you this. So if you remember, we overwintered our fig trees. I'm gonna give this its own video. I was waiting for a few more figs to come out, but check this out. Look at all the figs. This is our Chicago Hardy. So now the actual like stuff I prune in the fall is definitely dead, but you got figs. Looks really good. I'm gonna spin this back around, and I got a couple more things to show you before I go back inside. It's very hot right now. So, it's our Texas Everbearing. It's also a brown turkey fig. It's not growing quite as fast, but it is coming back. I also planted some cosmos flowers and giant marigolds back here. Thought that would be nice for the fall. We really liked them last year. They outlasted everything. Put a couple more snap peas. But yeah, they really outlasted everything, and looked really cool in late October. Let's see. Oh, sorry, thornless blackberry. A bad example. I haven't trellised anything. I know how we're gonna do it. I just have to go to the store. Oh, we've been getting blackberries every single day. At least 2 handfuls. So we're not eating them fresh. We're just putting them straight in the freezer. We have about 3/4 of a what's it called? Freezer gallon bag filled. Now this is curious. If anyone knows what that is, I'll look at this a little bit closer. What the heck? If anyone knows what this is, let me know. I just noticed, now I look at this plant every single day, and that was not there yesterday. What the heck? What is that? I'm gonna look that up. it kind of feels like pollen, but it looks like eggs. So that's skeeving me out real hard right now. I'm gonna go look that up. That's not good. We didn't get that last year. Look at that. Alright, well, this is why you look at your garden every day. Look at that. What is that? The only thing I can think of is it's like perfectly underneath. I'm wondering if it's like a fungus that exploded. I'm gonna check that out. And meanwhile, go over here. I've started to collect our toothache plant flowers, and I'm gonna use it to make some cough drops this year. So we're getting a little bit bigger, which is good. You can see our salad burnet's still going. One of our strawberries. This is generic, some kind of basil. And our cowpeas, doing great. We got our trellises going. Look at that. Cowpea coronet drying beans. There's a ton of them going right now. And our Mayflower beans, right here. Look at that. Got a lot of those coming in too. I'm gonna look up whatever's going on. The blackberries. I'm pretty sure all our chamomile's dead. I did get some more started, so that's coming. This is fennel. Looks really nice. Oh, it smells really good too. I'm gonna cut and freeze this. We have our one pair. I knew it was a risk doing as heavy a prune as we did this year for trees, but it needed to happen. This is our oregano. I have some more oregano going too. This looks like it's about ready for me to start harvesting. It's in their strawberry. Anyways, I knew it was a risk doing the heavy prune to our fruit trees this year. But it had to happen. We had to get that shaping started, and I was willing to take a hit this year. I expect next year we'll have a lot more. We're not going to do as heavy a pruning as we did this year. But it's kind of interesting. So like this goes up to about my shoulders, and then this pear tree got the same treatment and it just shot up. I don't know what that's about. Let's see. I can't get over these. The ants just love them. Whatever this part is, right where the flower was and the beans are coming out, the ants are obsessed with. Looks really cool. I never grew these before. Over here is our sesame, which we direct sowed this year. Last year I was very, very careful with it, and I learned that we didn't have to be. Yeah, these beautiful, let's get that in the sun. Beautiful trumpet flowers. Look at that. Every one of those will make a pod. So if you want to grow sesame seeds for your house, literally just throw them in the ground. If I remember, I'll go ahead and put the date down below. We planted it after we already transplanted our cardoon and stuff in here, so it was warm enough. But sesame is so easy to grow. You don't have to start it inside. It grows fast enough. This was direct sowed and grow like so much more than you think you need, because every plant will end up giving you, oh, I don't know, maybe a couple tablespoons worth of sesame seeds, if even that. So grow a lot of plants. We put a lot in here. Everything that looks like this is a sesame seed. I planted them over here too, but they didn't take off quite as well. So we ended up having one there. We have one there. So yeah, I guess this turned into kind of a garden tour. R.I.P. my chamomile. It's okay. We'll have some for the fall. This peach tree put on so much growth this year. Got a little bit eaten by the Japanese beetles, but it'll look better next year. This one's gonna be about as tall as our other trees by next year, so that's cool. Let me turn this back around. I'm a little sweaty, but that's okay. Ooh. So, there you go. There's a couple ways for you to take care of your squash plants and some stuff that's growing in right now. I'm checking on some stuff with our sorghum. I think it might be about ready to harvest, maybe. It's even starting to put out some secondary heads on the stalks, which would be great because if I can harvest it and get like a couple more seed head clusters on them, that'd be good because I really want to try it. I hope y'all have a good day. We'll have a mushroom log video this week, and yes, I checked the calendar. Next week will be our 1 year video, which is cool. We're only gonna put out a couple more days worth of polls that will include tonight and tomorrow, and then we'll call it a wrap. So we'll see you later, and check out our videos on YouTube, Galaxy Gardens.